Let's get over to members of Congress who are poring over what may seem like some pretty racy emails regarding the collapse of that company, Solyndra. You'll recall the green energy company filed for bankruptcy protection back in September and left taxpayers on the hook for more than $500 million in government loan guarantees. Well, now Fox News is getting a look at some of those emails, and one from a top investor suggests that when his staff talked with the White House, quote, "They about had an orgasm in Biden's office when we mentioned Solyndra." It's written right there in the email. James Rosen is live in D.C. I guess, you know, different strokes.
Yes, there's a lot of excitement over this story, Shep. White House Press Secretary Jay Carney said on the record back in September that a man named George Kaiser, quote, did not lobby administration officials with regard to Solyndra. George Kaiser is a billionaire and one of President Obama's most prominent supporters. He is head of the George Kaiser Family Foundation and also a major investor in Solyndra. According to congressional investigators, Kaiser has visited the White House 17 times. These newly disclosed emails shed some light on the substance of those visits that Mr. Carney described. Quote, "A couple of weeks ago," Kaiser wrote to Solyndra board member Steve Mitchell in early March 2010, "when Ken and I were visiting with a group of administration folks in D.C. who were in charge of the stimulus process, White House, not DOE," Kaiser stressed, "and Solyndra came up, every one of them responded simultaneously about their thorough knowledge of the Solyndra story, suggesting it was one of their prime poster children," unquote. Earlier that same day, Steve Mitchell had told the Ken mentioned in the other email, Kaiser Foundation executive Ken Levitt, quote, "It appears things are headed in the right direction, and Energy Secretary Stephen Chu is apparently staying involved in Solyndra's application and continues to talk up the company as a success story," unquote. Of course, Solyndra went bankrupt, and the FBI in September raided its offices and executives' homes, a series of events that was pursued with witnesses from the White House and the Department of Energy in a House Energy and Commerce Committee hearing that month.
Are you aware of anything that would suggest that Mr. Kaiser's donations to the president were a factor in determining whether to grant the Solyndra loan guarantee?
No, sir. Again, I wasn't there, but I have no reason to believe that.
Today, a White House spokesman accuses House Republicans of cherry-picking these documents, while the Kaiser Family Foundation told Fox News today, quote, "George Kaiser had no discussions with the government regarding the loan to Solyndra," a statement that appears at odds with the substance of these emails. Shep.
James Rosen in Washington this afternoon. James.